Good morning, YouTube Nation. Trying to get this done. Sun hasn't come up yet. Trying to get this done before my wife gets up and moving. As you remember, I built a PC based on an AMD Ryzen 3700 X, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months ago during the midst of COVID. Time for an upgrade. I'm calling this my midlife crisis or midlife upgrade. So what I have here, again, waiting for prices to be somewhat reasonable, which they seem to have come down a little bit. I was able to find myself a Ryzen 9 5900X, 12 cores in that joker, so that'd be great. Didn't come with a fan, which I wouldn't have used anyway. In lieu of the fan, I bought the Corsair H115i Platinum. Not sure what the Platinum means, but RGB, water-cooled, self-contained water-cooled system. So I'm going to put that joker in. I was also able to get a buddy of mine's hooked me up with a gigabyte GeForce RTX 3070. Hard to come by. So got that. I've already actually put that in. And then lastly, just for backing up my stuff, since I actually am using this PC, I bought a Seagate 6 terabyte drive that I'm going to throw in there as well. So stay with me for a little bit, and I'm going to take this thing apart and move some cables around, do a couple things, and replace the CPUs, and then I'll do some benchmarks. We'll see how we did. Alright, looking a little bit bare in there, but that's okay. Alright, so next thing is I got to take this fan header, which I believe is right here. We'll find out here in a second. Because I need to move this joker. That's part of it. Alright, so now comes the fun part. I got the fan swapped around, changed my hard drives, upgrade the hard drive. Here goes the Ryzen 9. So kind of important right now to think about a couple things. One is you don't want to get any paste or anything on the pins of your chip. That would be really bad. Basically short out your chips. And then the other thing is when you drop this thing in there, you don't want to force the lever down and lock it in unless you're sure that it is properly connected. So if you look on the chip itself, you'll see, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll point to it for you. There's a little gold kind of triangle here. And so that is how you align your pins. You find that gold triangle and you find the spot on the motherboard that kind of mimics that, which appears to be up here in the top. I was going to go left, right, but I don't know that it would make a difference because you guys are looking at this backwards. So, and it should sit right down in there. And if it doesn't, you got it wrong. In this case, it doesn't. So my next trick, I think it was the other one that would have been here. It was one of two spots. You can see the little gold thing right there. Well, that's not it either. What am I missing here, people? It was right the first time. No. That's definitely not it. There it is right there. It sits right down there, so that's weird. Let me see. So it's actually this top right corner, right to me, is where it's at. And the pins will actually just seat right down, like you just kind of heard it snap in there. Once you're there, do that, locked in place, there it is. Okay, so a couple things. So first off, I covered up the, it has thermal paste on the water, on the cooling block, so I wanted to cover that and make sure that it didn't slide around and scratch the paste all up. The other thing is you want to check your airflow, right? So you want air flowing to, whether you mount it on the top of your case or on the front of your case. In my case, I'm going to mount it on the front. You want air blowing through the case and coming exhaling out the back of the case. So bringing cool air in, hot air out. And so how do you know which way is which? So if you look at this, whoop, let that go in there, not good. The back where the labeling is on the fans, that's the exhaust side, right? So air is coming through the radiator, the way I have it set up right now, coming into the case, and then it will be exhausting out the back with my other fans. So I'll be blowing cool air across my all my components and out the back. So that's how you figure that. And a lot of the ones, I don't know if these do, I don't see them on here. A lot of the new fans will have arrows that kind of tell you which will point in the direction that the air is flowing, so you can tell. But basically, you want cool air coming in, hot air going out, and what you don't want to have is cross feeding, right? So you don't want to have air coming in from different directions. Basically, what's the right word? They're kind of countering each other, so you basically have a massive hot air in the middle of your case. You don't want that. So anyway, fans are mounted to the radiator. I'm going to mount it now to this bracket, and then slide it back into my case. Now it's going to be a really, really tight fit. Matter of fact, it may not fit. So I just figured out as I was putting this together. If it doesn't fit, I'm either getting a new case or else I'm going to send this back and come up with some other solution. But anyway, let's see if we can get it to fit. All right, so I finally got the fan and the radiator assembly right in here attached. It was an extremely tight fit to the point where it almost didn't work, but it did with a little ingenuity. I was able to get it in there. Hopefully I didn't break anything because it's stuck in there pretty tight. All right, plan B. So as much as I said to be careful about taking the thermal paste off the water block, you know, I put fingerprints and all that kind of stuff on there. I actually did exactly that, as careful as I was trying to be. Anyway, I took some rubbing alcohol and cleaned the block off, and now I'm going to apply some Arctic Silver to the CPU. Okay, I think we're set. All I need to do now is put everything back together, and hopefully it fires up. If it doesn't fire up, then we'll have to spend the afternoon troubleshooting and figure it out, but hopefully it works. Turn it on. All right, it's time for the test. So let's turn it on and see what we get. Here we go. All right, so finally we have the system up and running. A couple of problems I had, and they weren't problems really, they were my problems. So first off, when I first booted it up and we didn't get any power, the actual SATA cable on the back had disconnected during transport or something, I don't know. But anyway, disconnected, put it back together, came on, no problem. The second problem we had was it wouldn't see the M.2 drive that I had in position 1, and I had mentioned before, I think at the beginning of the video, that I couldn't remember why I put it on position 2. Well, that's why. So I put it back to 2. Had to do some configurations in the BIOS, but at least I got to the BIOS and did some configurations. It booted from the drive as it should, and it's now, I'm actually restoring because I changed hard drive. I have to do a restore. I did a backup before doing a restore now, so it's going to take a while to do the restore. It's going to take a minute or two. And once it's done that, I'll do some benchmarks. But machine is running. You can see it right here. A couple of comments, things, first off, it took about half of the morning. So from, I guess I started about 5:36 and probably got done about 10. So, basically changed video card. Actually didn't change the video card, but changed the hard drive. Changed the M.2 position twice. Redid the cables in the back, so it's a little bit better cable management. Nobody sees it, but it's there. Had to jerry rig the water cooler to make it fit, but it does. And basically replace the CPU and the water cooler. The good thing is I can't hear the machine. And I've done some other stuff. I'm not going to overclock it, but I did some just to see. And I can't hear the machine. So that was kind of the main reason for doing this. It's going to be faster, of course, but it's quiet. And that's kind of what I was looking for. So anyway, once this finishes, I'll do some benchmarks. And you can compare. There'll be benchmarks based on configurations that I've had. So this box with AMD 5800 XT, I think it was called, and I think I did them with another AMD card. I can't remember what it is, but I'll know it because I'll see it in my benchmark. So anyway, I'll put those comparisons there. They are coming up right now.